Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be comparing the new Santa Fe to the Palisade. Before we begin this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with both of these vehicles. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the Santa Fe, we have a turbocharged 2.5 liter four-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 281 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. Now, powering the Palisade is a naturally aspirated 3.8 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed torque converter automatic. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 291 horsepower and then 262 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the Santa Fe, the new Santa Fe looks absolutely incredible. Super boxy design, and I like the H pattern there with the headlights. But you know, this has a lot of design elements from a Land Rover Defender. It's not the same stylistically, but very similar. Now, the Palisade is a boxy SUV, but next to the Santa Fe, it doesn't look boxy. It looks more rounded off. You can see the split light design here, and you can see the grille. And seeing these next to each other, it almost looks like what Hyundai's previous design language was kind of going for versus what they're now going for moving forward with their future cars. And so it's interesting to see them next to each other. Now, around the side here, the Santa Fe, our tire wheel setup is 255/60/18 in the front and over in the rear, and these wheels are completely blacked out. These tires are a little bit bigger than stock. This actually has aftermarket tires. So yeah, you can fit bigger tires on the Santa Fe from the factory, which is pretty cool. But you guys can see with the fender flares and everything, really rugged design. Again, super boxy. I mean, look at the side profile here. Whereas over here in the Palisade, our tire wheel setup is 245/60/18 in the front and over in the rear. And this is a stock setup. Silver wheels on this particular Palisade, and you can see the fender flares and everything. But if we take a few steps back, it still is boxy. I mean, look at the back, for example, but you can tell that it's definitely got more of like a sleek SUV design rather than the boxy design with the Santa Fe. Now, taking a look at the key fobs, you guys can see that the Santa Fe gets the new key fob, and then the Palisade has the previous gen key fob. Functionality on them is pretty much identical. They both have remote start, hatch opening. The hatch opening on the Santa Fe is on the side there, but yeah, just different looks. Now, taking a look at the cargo area in the Palisade, you can see you've got these controls to fold down the second row, and with the third row folded down, you've got quite a bit of space. You can see the cup holders there in the back, cargo cover here at the top as well. Now, you guys are probably wondering in terms of space here with the third row. With the Palisade, you can fit adults back there, but I recommend kids. Headroom is actually pretty solid in the back. And just legroom, it's not horribly cramped, but it's a little bit more on the tight side of things. But yeah, overall, I mean, plenty of storage space. When you're all done, just press that and then I'll lower the hatch right back down. Now, popping into the Santa Fe, you guys can see we've got a little 12 volt here, and then we got the seat lowering down for the second row on the other side, got an outlet, and then we have our own climate zone here in the back as well. Now, with the Santa Fe, legroom is going to be more cramped compared to the Palisade, but because of the boxy design, headroom is just as good. You can't see the same thing for the new Kia Sorento, which is the sibling vehicle. This has more headroom than the Sorento, so it's definitely a more livable vehicle when it comes to space. But yeah, definitely smaller than the Palisade. Anyways, when you're all done, just press that, and that will lower the hatch right back down. When it comes to rear design with the Palisade, really cool looking taillights. You can see the Palisade logo there across the H-Track badge. Parking sensors here at the bottom. Look at the double exhaust tip setup as well. But yeah, again, boxy, but compared to this, it looks pretty rounded off. I mean, look at that giant Santa Fe logo here, and look at the taillight design. I mean, this is just absolutely absurd. And then you can see the exhaust tip poking there at the bottom. But yeah, let me know which design you like more. I'm kind of team Santa Fe with these two, but yeah, let me know what you think. Now, in the back of the Palisade, you guys can see a little storage pocket here. We've got our own climate zone in the back, a little 12 volt. Really nice seats, by the way, with this little net there on the side. Like I said, headroom, it's good. And then you can see with the door panel, nice soft touch trim all across. Now, in the back of the Santa Fe, like I said, it's not as spacious, second row and third row with the Santa Fe, but it's not bad. And then you can see nice trim all down the center with the seat. And I love the door panel design in the Santa Fe. Again, very Land Rover-esque with what they're going for. And then headroom, it's great. And starting her up for the Palisade here. Really nice trim all around the steering wheel. We got paddle shifters here on the back for the 8-speed. Bunch of practical controls like your cruise control, steering assist, all of that. And then the front door panel, again, nice with the trim and the fit and finish. Look at the finish on all the controls, by the way. Blind spot ring with the mirrors. Digital gauge cluster here in the center, which is pretty cool. You can change with the different drive modes. And then we do have a rear view camera with the Palisade. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time's pretty quick with this system. Sorry about the camera not focusing there. But yeah, that's great. And then analog control for the radio down below, dual zone climate controls. You also have the rear climate. Transmission selector here, the auto hold, drive mode select with the center locking differential, hill descent as well, heated seats. And then you've got this little thing right here that covers up, which is pretty cool. You got the multi-storage area, so like it can be storage or cup holders. Wireless phone charging pad. In the center console. Nice padding on top. And then these front seats, again, they look nice, just like the second row seats, perforated all down the center. Yeah, just a nice design here in general. And glove box. And then we don't have a center for anything with this package. And starting up the Santa Fe. So yeah, definitely a rugged design with the steering wheel. The finish on the buttons isn't as premium looking as what you have on the Palisade. So I get paddle shifters there. And this has the new column shifter, which frees up space. Like I said, with the door panel design, really tight fit and finish, really cool look overall. Got all of your window controls right there. You can blind spot running with the mirrors. And then this has the new gauge cluster, fully digital, kind of has a crazy look to it. Doesn't really do anything with the drive modes though, interestingly enough, in terms of the animation or anything. And then when it comes to camera system, just a backup camera like the Palisade. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time is pretty dang quick with this screen, so easy to use. Nice trim across the dash. And again, very rugged design. And this one actually has a double glove box. So you have a top lid there, soft touch on the outside, by the way. And then you have the bottom lid down below. And then you got the H pattern on the vents, which is really cool. Got your climate controls, again, dual zone climate, heated seats, drive mode select here, charging area, very open. And then there's even more storage underneath this. You can see the center console. Pretty cool with that design. And then just a regular mirror. And then this one actually does have a sunroof. So the Santa Fe stickers for about $42,500. That's before the aftermarket tires, by the way. But anyways, about $42,500. And then that Palisade stickers for about $43,500. So there's only a $1,000 price difference. Let's drive them. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, the rest of the rear, and well, you got to turn around, but let us set off. This has such a cool feel to it. I really do like this new Santa Fe quite a bit. I hope that we get more. I hope that this does really well, so it shows manufacturers that people want more cars like this. Boxy design, upright seating position, but you know, not $100,000 like a G-Wagon. Or you know, $50,000, $60,000 like a Wrangler or a Bronco. But first off, yeah, seat comfort's good in this new Santa Fe. And these tires do add a little bit of extra height compared to stock, and you can kind of tell you sit a little bit higher. So it's a really cool feel. The engine does not struggle though to move the tires whatsoever. And this new Santa Fe drives well. It's comfortable. And again, the dual clutch and everything, it's pretty quick. It's responsive. So they've done a good job. Just moves well. Handles well too. And we'll get our little acceleration here. Woo! It's got some power. It's got some power. And again, it doesn't struggle. And these tires aren't, like, you hear them a little bit, but it's not bad. It is not bad whatsoever. It's a pretty well insulated cabin. So yeah, something's up here with this Santa Fe with these bigger tires. The XRT, right, comes with more aggressive tires already, but this is on a whole nother level. Like, this looks really good, and I bet you Murdoch Hyundai here will lift one of these, because they've lifted the Santa Cruzes. So yeah, just you wait. I'm excited to do a review on that. Lifted, that'll be crazy. Lifted Santa Fe. But yeah, it just drives well. It drives well, it looks cool, and there's no downside with these tires, other than, yeah, fuel economy is gonna be a little bit less, but you know, it's the price you pay. It's the price you pay. And the other thing that's cool about tires like this is these are the only tires you have to wear. You don't have to have winter tires as well. You can drive this in all 4 seasons with the H-Track system. It'll be great. And for those of you that are wondering, it is curb approved, as in you can, look at that, crawl up curbs, no problem. It's a mall crawler, it's official. Let me know what you guys think. Well, let us set off in the Palisade and settle the debate. Palisade or Santa Fe? So what I will say is, you know, kind of like what I showed in the walk around, is the Palisade has kind of a more upscale feel with some of the finish on the controls. The design is also more kind of traditional luxury car design with making everything flow, whereas in that Santa Fe, right, is very boxy with the design, so it doesn't flow necessarily, it's just edge, which, and just a kind of different approach to all of it. It's interesting to see, well, that truck was hauling. It's interesting to see how Hyundai has changed their design language with these vehicles. And you look at the previous gen Santa Fe compared to the new one, it is a night and day difference in terms of exterior design and interior design. But even this, yeah, this is kind of like more of an in-between between them. Now the engine, being a traditional torque converter, you know, it's a little bit smoother with the gear shifts and all of that. Yeah, not a bad drive. Pretty good torque. It's not as torquey as that turbocharged engine, but it's not bad. So I don't think this feels like quite as punchy. It's a good way to kind of describe the feeling there. Handles well. It does feel like a bigger vehicle, but it doesn't feel as like upright. It's kind of a weird way to say it, but yeah, great power. Smooth. Also, there's storage underneath the center console in this too. I forgot to mention that in the walk around. So they both have under like center console storage. But yeah, it drives well. So I want to sum things up with this comparison by talking about some other things that I learned today. I also did a comparison today, Sorento versus Telluride. Now, I do want to still get a comparison, Sorento versus the, what is brain fart? Santa Fe. So many S's. I do still want to get that comparison, but what I'll say as of now with what I have learned is I think that here's how I'd rate the cars. I'd say that Sorento, let's see. So I'd rate Sorento, then Palisade, and then Santa Fe and Telluride. In that particular order. That I kind of like go back and forth between the Santa Fe and the Telluride. It's weird how it works, but yeah, with this comparison, you know, the Telluride, or sorry, not the Telluride, now I'm getting everything mixed up. The Palisade is a bigger vehicle, so if you need more space, it's a bigger vehicle. But if you're just looking at like style and all of that, I think the new Santa Fe is a little bit cooler with how they have everything set up. This still has nicer finish on the controls, and there's going to be a lot of price point crossover with these two vehicles. So I think, you know, what I said the same thing in my Telluride versus Sorento review. I think it's going to come down to which style you like more in terms of which one you should purchase, because the prices are pretty dang close with the vehicles. And it's crazy that the Santa Fe went from being just a mom car that nobody cared about, nobody really, it's not bad, but it's just like average, to now it's like a super desirable vehicle. And I mean, this Palisade's been desirable for years now, but now it makes the Palisade look kind of lame a little bit just because of the style. But anyways, let me know if you'd go Palisade or Santa Fe.